All right, hello everyone, and welcome to week 5, which is the last week of this training block for our lower body strength and core. So you're warm, you already completed your warm-up. We're going to get you going on your first superset, which is going to start off a little bit more normal, I should say, than the past 4 weeks have. We're going to be working with our front-loaded squats, working with 10 reps total, and today we are preferably either going to go heavier than we did last day, or again, work on more mind to muscle connection than we have over the past few weeks if we don't have that option to go heavier. So if you're like me and you're really only stuck with like one set of weights, I only have these 8-pound dumbbells. What I'm going to do is simply think more about what's happening in that lower body of mine. Widening up our feet, we're going to add that angle into our toes. We have 10 reps. 1-2 seconds down. When we get down here, we want to think about squeezing our butt to lift ourselves up to the top. That's 1 rep, and we are doing 10 reps total of these squats. Now, again, we want to really focus on that stretch, that contraction, and then that shortening that's happening. So as we sit down, we're lengthening everything in our backside, and then we squeeze and we pull ourselves up to the top. Now, this is something that hopefully you have been thinking about, but sometimes we just need a little bit more focus on. And today is the day where you have 10 reps, 4 rounds of 10 reps to focus on this. So that's our first movement. Second one that we're going to do with this one, we're going to add that band in around our heels and work with our banded side steps, doing them in our X-stepping fashion. So we have the length of our mat that's going to gauge us. Hip width apart, I'm going to step wider and slightly forward, follow into that hip width, wider and backward, wider and forward, the whole time keeping my hips hinged back as we go through this X or zigzag style side step. There and back is going to be 1, and we are doing 3 times. Now this zigzag fashion is going to help us target different stuff in our hips, so don't be surprised if you feel this one a little bit more than our normal side-to-side steps. That is going to be 1 set. We're limiting the rest, so we don't want to take any rest, and you are going to complete 4 sets total of this. So as soon as you're done those side steps, pick up those weights, and we're going right into our second set. By limiting the rest, we're hopefully, again, going to have a better opportunity to really tap into that mind-to-muscle connection. Feel the legs, that's why we're here. Okay, you know what to do. Pause, and I'll see you back here for part 2. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are here, back in it, and we are going to start you off with some rear foot elevated split squats. So for our weight today, we are going to front load our weight back into that front loaded position as we go through these split squats. Now, this front loaded position, especially when we're working with a single leg exercise like the split squat, is going to help us incorporate a lot more core than if we were to just hold them down by our sides. So lift them up here. If you find your weights are a little on the heavy side, you can always put one down and hold one bow tie or dog bone style. But we'll try to work with the same weight that we normally do. Rear foot is elevated. We're sitting down normal tempo, 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up. And we're working with 12 reps on each leg. So we're going to complete 12 on that side, 12 on the other side, keeping those weights up there the whole time. And then with this one, we have a knee banded hip thrust. So today, oftentimes we'll give this to you as an option. If you have these bands, this is not optional. I want everyone to try this. Putting that band on around our knees. If your band's a little on the lighter side, you can always use 2, 1 above the knees, 1 below the knees. This is a medium strength one. You can use a medium to heavy, and we're going to lower ourselves down. We have that secondary option to add weight to our hips. We want to make sure that the knees have tension outward. So right away we get into this position, we're going to push the knees apart and work with 12 reps of this knee banded hip thrust. By having the band around the knees, the whole time the band wants the knees in, we have to fight that band to keep the knees apart, which is going to give us a lot more focus on the outsides of the hips, which is the goal on this one here. With these 2, we're going to take some rest. 30 to 45 seconds after you finish those 12 hip thrusts before you complete 3 more sets. So we have 4 rounds total of our split squats and then our hip thrusts, 4 sets. Okay, go get the work done. I'll see you back here for part 3 of today's session for the strength. All right, welcome back, my friends. We are here finishing you off with the last part of our lower body strength. Today we are working with a single leg hip thrust to finish us off. We are going to do this with our foot elevated. So if you need to, if your chair is kind of flimsy, it's not that heavy, if it moves around, you can always push it up into something, or again, use a stool or a stair in your house instead. We are going to be working with our foot up on that chair, on that stool, whatever you have, and our shoulders down on the floor. 10 reps. We're adding a pause in at the top. So we're going to push up and hold for 1, 2, 3 seconds between our 10 reps total. So I'll do 10 on this, 10 on this. With this one, we are working with our straight leg sumo stance deadlifts. So I'm going to hold on to my weights in front of me. Wider than hip width, we have an angle out on our toes, soft knees, and we'll hinge those hips back. Again, trying to really focus on that squeeze to come out of this position. We have 12 to 15, so you have a range here. You can stop at 12, you can go up to 15. Really depends on, again, how challenged you feel by those weights. We don't want to be thinking that we can do more reps, so we'll really try to make 12 to 15 challenging for ourselves. And again, get that work through the hamstrings, the glutes, as we go through our reps. 4 rounds is the number to beat for these two. So we have that foot elevated hip thrust, straight leg deadlifts, 4 sets. And then we have core work after this. So pause, and I'll see you back for the core. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are back here for our last and final part, which all we need is space and a timer. We're going to be putting ourselves on a timer set for 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. We have 3 exercises that you are going to be doing. Starting off with this first one, we want to get ourselves into this V position. So we're going to walk our hips back, lean back, lift up our legs, and we're doing this V bicycle. We're alternating, rotating, trying to bring my knee and my elbow together. If this one's too challenging, we can always have one foot down on the floor. That's going to be you for 40 seconds. Once you're finished that one, we're going to go ahead and lay on our back, lift up our legs, and work with our toe touches for 40 seconds. So hopefully you have space behind you. You can touch the floor. And then we exhale, we crunch up towards the feet. 40 seconds on that one there. Last one, we are going to flip over, working with a high plank hold with toe taps. So we're tapping our toes right side and left side, trying to maintain that nice strong plank position. 40 seconds. 3 rounds. And then you are done here for the day for this training block until next month, which is next week. All right, that is all. Pause, get the work done, and of course, you're going to do your stretches as well. You already knew that. Okay, I'll see you guys next day for our upper body.